Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome here again with Couch of Science. My name is Michele. I will be your host for tonight. And today we have a very special episode after the first one where we actually were trying to describe you few little things, few little information for regarding this situation, the COVID-19 situation, the quarantine. Today we decided to gather our network and to share with you the information that we have with the rest of Pint of Science community around Europe. And I have with me other four guys that actually they are a Pint of Science volunteer and even more. And today we are just going to discuss how they are living this quarantine, how it's going, if it's bad, if it's good, how it's going to impact their life. So something not really related to science this time, but just to community, which will be very nice to share with all of you. So I will just let the stage to the rest of the guests that we have, starting from Eleanor, that is just behind me. So hello, Eleanor. So how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Fine. So you are from UK, actually.
Yeah, I'm from Liverpool, and I'm doing my PhD at the University of Liverpool at the moment.
Oh wow! So, which actually you were saying the other day that was quite impact about this situation.
Yeah, I was due to submit my thesis in September, so I had, I think, one or two experiments to do, which I obviously can't do right now, so it's anyone's guess when I'm actually going to be finishing.
Okay, and after you, we have Tai or Tai Chi. I don't know actually which is if it's the good pronunciation from Netherlands. Hi Tai, how are you?
Hello, hi, thank you for having me. Yeah, I guess a bit about me. I am in the Netherlands, but I am not Dutch. I actually come from Peru. Sort of zigzagged my way first across Northern Europe, Northern America, then made my way to the UK, and now I'm in the Netherlands. So I also do research. I focus my research on pharmacogenetics at the University of Groningen. But I also focus in a biotech company called BaseClear, focusing on microbial genomics.
Wow. That's your stuff. Lovely. And then after you, we have Elodie directly from France. Hello, Elodie. How are you? I think you still have you still have the mute microphone? Okay. Now I think we can hear you now.
Do you hear me?
Yes. Now, yes.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. I muted my volume, sorry. I'm directly from Paris, and I'm not a scientist anymore. Well, I'm a scientist, but I'm not a researcher anymore. I'm a freelance science communicator. I was doing neuroscience before, and since 2-3 years now, I'm doing science communication, and I'm fully involved with Pint of Science as well.
Okay, and then actually now the formation changed, but still... Below me, there is the last person today, not the least, Matteo from Italy. How are you, Matteo?
Last but not least. Last but not least, clearly. Can you hear me, Michele?
Yes, we can.
Okay, that's fine. So, good afternoon to everyone. My name is Matteo, and I am from Italy. I am not a scientist right now. I have a master in plant biotechnology. But right now I'm working in science dissemination and communication. I am in Turin right now, and for Pint, I work for Pint of Science Milan and for the national team of Italy.
Okay, cool. Actually, apparently, you have later. We will talk about a very good initiatives that was done in Italy at the very beginning of the quarantine. The Science Web Festival, I think, is something very cool that we should share with the rest of these people. And so, for everybody actually is watching us, you can comment, you can ask question about how he's doing. You can share with us how actually you're living these days. If you are fine, if you are still in the mood that everything is nice and you can bake wherever is bakeable, whatever you want, just share with us. We will do the same during this time. So I would like also to say thank you to other four guys that you cannot see here, but they are actually in the background. We will be able to help me try to manage all the situation. They are from Pint of Science Belgium as well. We have Renata that actually joined pop-up miraculously. Then we have Matteo. I think that as well is going to pop up soon. Yes, Matteo. Then we have Mikael. Yes, Mikael. And then we have Anna as well. And these four nice guys, they are going to, hello Anna, they are going to help me to handle everything. I'm hoping that all of you have a beer with you, because actually, since it's Pint of Science, even it's a Couch of Science, we still have a beer to share all together. So I would like to start with probably the most important question regarding all this situation, because it's something that really kind of pissed me off in a certain way, but it's also make me very curious about it. Toilet paper. So why toilet paper? Okay, at least in Belgium and in Italy was like this. Please, guys, tell me if it's the same also in your countries. Like in 2 days, toilet paper disappeared. Why? Why? So I actually have no idea why this, especially in Italy. I have no idea.
No, I every time I have found toilet paper. So I don't know, maybe other jet markets, but in mine, I every time. So
yeah, but the very first days, like a couple of days, was crazy. Was crazy about that.
Oh.
Elodie, was the same?
Actually, it was quite fun in Paris, because at the beginning, everyone was talking about no toilet paper anymore. And inside Paris, it was okay. And I just went just outside to another supermarket, and it was like completely empty. And I was like, wow, this is really crazy. And then they declared the lockdown for the Monday just after. And I went to the supermarket, and I was like, yeah, okay, here as well. It was completely empty. Maybe there is a secret recipe involving toilet paper we don't know about. I thought maybe you can brew some cool beer with it. I don't know.
Yeah, but I really don't know. Actually, it was really, really weird. It was a really weird situation. But I don't know, guys, if the same also for you in Netherlands and England.
Yeah, definitely in England. Yeah, we definitely had a lot of toilet paper issues. One of my friends from work apparently saw people fighting over toilet paper in the shops, so it got a bit crazy.
That's crazy. That's really crazy. Netherlands as well?
Yeah, I think in the Netherlands, there was a bit of pandemonium, I think, for the weekend, and then it was fully restocked. Especially, this is in The Hague, so if there's anyone from the Netherlands that can prove me wrong, please do. And I shared the video of the guy maniacally laughing around a warehouse just full of toilet paper. So that actually hasn't been the biggest issue for us. Actually, for me, the biggest issue has been actually going back to baking, has been finding yeast.
Yes, that was another shortage.
And
flour too.
Yeah, that, and currently now it's become eggs. So not to say it's people to hoard their eggs, but they really went out for Easter. Hopefully that comes back soon, but we'll see.
Yeah, for us it's flour, and I'm trying to get to bake some crepe, and no flour. So it's like, okay, fine. I think people discovered some secret baking stuff. Maybe everyone's watching, the Great Bake Off or something. It's like everyone's baking at the moment. No flour.
No, it's crazy. It's really crazy. But actually, this is interesting because in the countries, the quarantine started in different moment, and still more or less there was the same reaction from people. Which at the beginning I thought that was just an Italian thing, toilet paper, but then actually wasn't that. And I don't know, actually, between these 5 countries, which the last one that went in quarantine, I think Netherlands or maybe UK. I'm not totally sure about it.
Might be UK, because for us it's a month.
Yeah, for us it's a month, basically. Also in Belgium. In Italy, I think it's 5-6 weeks, probably.
Yes, it's the 14th day of quarantine.
Oh,
so it's a little bit longer. And talking about flour and yeast, my I don't know yours, but my Instagram in Italy is a Master Chef casting.
Yes,
Everybody is doing pizza, pasta, cakes, and whatever
that's
you
true.
want.
For
That's
us, it's bread, but yeah.
Also bread, brioche.
No,
Yeah.
everything, really everything. That's true. There was this huge idea of altogether to start to bake whatever, which slowly is decreasing because people start to get annoying about that, and and they're not doing that anymore. They are just finding something else or just stay on the bed without doing anything in the worst case scenario. But in general, my question is how you are dealing with this quarantine. I mean, for me right now it's quite fine also because I'm still going to work. I'm still working in the lab, so it's okay. But for the rest of the time, I was quite enjoying to work from home because you don't have people to talk. You don't need to do small talks, which is I'm terrible in small talks. So you don't need to do small talks. You can actually focus on your job. You can stay in pajama. You can work in pajama. It's fine. It's nice. But I can understand that for some people, especially because for 2 weeks out of 4, I was in the lab, so I was outside of my house. But I think that for someone can be quite tough. I don't know which was your experience, especially not just work related, but also human life related. How was it?
For me, it's the same because I work from home most of the time. And to be honest, normally, end of March, beginning of April, I'm packing for Pint of Science normally, all the goodies. So I'm working from home. And then the only free time I get, I go to underground storage to basically sort out boxes. So for me, it feels almost like I'm out of jail right now, because normally I would be working from home and then going underground, normally I literally spend an entire weekend in the basement to basically prepare all the boxes for 60 cities to then send all the goodies to all the cities. So basically, I almost found myself being oh my God, I can go on the balcony during the weekend. I don't have to be in the basement. Ooh, it's almost better than normal. But that was my first thought. And working from home is what I do usually. So it was okay. It's just that I think, you're not able to go outside. I don't know for you guys, but the sleep is much less easy, I feel. Probably the brain is a bit going crazy. So for me, it was more that actually than the outside life that I missed.
Yeah,
I'm
actually,
struggling to try and keep to a routine. I think that's my main issue because I started off being fine because I'm trying to write my thesis and stuff. But now after I think I'm on week 3 or 4. It's just really hard now to actually get up and keep to a routine when every single day is exactly the same and the weekend's exactly the same as every other day. So there's nothing to look forward to.
That's the worst part. Actually,
No, absolutely.
Actually, we have an important message from Pint of Science Belgium. Please stop buying all the yeast. We need loads to brew our beer and prepare the Pint of Science Festival in September. That's of course a good point, actually.
Priorities. You need priorities, guys.
Yeah, but actually, I don't know if everybody knows, but at least in Belgium, we decided to move the festival from May to September.
Yep.
From the 9th to the 11th of September. Please, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but it should be from the 9th to the 11th of September.
7th to the 9th.
7th to the 9th. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Thanks, perfect.
But
we can't time travel, sorry.
Yeah, I can speak as the international director. So basically, it was a bit crazy when we had to change the time because it was well before the quarantine and everything. It was just it's probably not going to happen. So at the start, we decided we would have an alternative date for countries that wouldn't make May. And everyone basically is ending up not having May. But it sounds crazy. But in February, it still, appeared no, May could be possible for some places. So it's 7th to the 9th for most of the countries. Some countries decided to completely cancel, like Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Some countries are still not decided, but the main, the majority, let's say, will be 7th to 9th of September.
Okay. That's good.
Let's hope it's going to be possible.
Yeah. We hope so, actually, but it should be the case. Yes.
Yeah.
But okay, let's go back actually on what we are fighting this quarantine period. And Eleonora, so we were saying that actually in the beginning you are very close to the end of your PhD, and you
Yep.
have to stop because you have still some experiment going on that you cannot finish, right?
Yep.
That's
Yes.
bad. That's
Yeah, I
really
gave some of my data
unlucky.
for sequencing, and I was due to get it back about a week after we went onto
Wow.
lockdown. So it's kind of just sat somewhere, and I kind of need it. So still waiting on that, but I'm gonna have to wait until I think the lockdown's over.
Because in your case, actually, the university is completely locked down. So
Most of it is. There are some people at the university who work on sort of COVID stuff and virology. So those people still going in and still working. But anyone who's not doing virus work is locked down.
Okay. Yeah, good luck. Actually, I hope that you can finish as soon as possible.
Thank you.
And Ty, actually, how is going in Netherlands in this point? How you are living this situation? You can go to work, you cannot, because I think that in Netherlands the quarantine is quite loose. It's quite easy quarantine.
Indeed, we're quite relaxed, and it actually would have been nice to see also Pint of Science Sweden if they would have joined, because I think we're the two countries that have one of the more lax policies to how COVID-19 is being handled. That being said, so it's not a strict quarantine, it's just more of please use reasonable sense. So yeah, since I think 16th of March, so bars, cafes, schools have been closed. Initially it was for a couple of weeks, then it got postponed until the end of April. Next week we'll probably get an update until if that gets extended. Highly likely that it will, seeing as they also said, please don't have any large gatherings until June. So that is also one of the reasons why we decided to, of course, postpone it until September. But other than that, I would say it sometimes is a bit strange. Yeah, staying at home, it's nice. The transition, similar to Eleanor, it's been odd with I don't know when the weekday and the weekend starts and finishes. I wake up on Saturday thinking that I can start working. Oh no, actually. Or you go out with a video Zoom beer session with friends and then wake up the next morning thinking, it's great. It'll be, oh no, it's Tuesday at 9. Oh, if work's listening, hi. But yeah, it's been reasonably followed, but I think I don't know how it's for you guys, but it was 20 degrees recently. And the sun's shining, and then you just sort of look outside and you see people with their bicycles just going to the beach. The city's been trying to put a cap on that, but then when you have hundreds and hundreds of people going to the beach, it's a bit okay. They're practicing social distancing. There is a little bubble that everyone has, but it's sort of that defeats the point when you want to get everyone to stay inside to flatten the curve. But I think everyone is still, or people are still conscious that, okay, this isn't a very, I can just go out and grab a beer with friends. I have to make sure that everything is has their own zone to be able to enjoy things.
Yeah. No, in fact, is the attitude of this quarantine situation and social distancing, it's might be quite weird, actually. I have to say that it's not the same for everybody, but okay, that's no politics, no complaining. But Matteo, actually, you are right now in the country, which is also my country, which is the one that was most heated by this situation. You are actually in I think in Turin, right?
Yes.
Which is a city that I don't know if it's very, very huge, the impact that, but I was reading that it might become quite huge if they are not careful.
It's a very strange situation because coronavirus started in Lombardy, Milan, Bergamo, and cities near this area. But right now in Turin is increasing the number of COVID positive. So we have a problem because the trend for Italy is a decrease, and in Piedmont is increasing. So not so good, and the situation is quite problematic because in a press conference, a journalist asked to people, but Italian people could go on holiday next summer, and I think it's a little bit problem. We have other stuff to solve before.
Worry about it right now.
Yeah. So I think we need a great focus on our situation because Italy is in a completely lockdown since last month, and we need to go for
We need to go
other
over.
2 weeks. We have to go for other 2 weeks at least.
Yeah.
We don't know if for more. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
true.
problem.
Actually, that's true. That's true. And but how actually you are facing this situation? Because
Other problematic question because I was working for a great opening of a new museum in Turin, but with the lockdown and the social distancing, I don't know really when museums can be open again. So it's a strange situation. Right now, I am studying a lot. Doing volunteer activities for schools because working in communication. I also tried a lot of stuff like Google Classrooms, like Jamboard, Zoom. So there are a lot of programs for help teachers for maintain the classrooms because every people is at home and students are doing or not the homeworks. So it's difficult.
Okay, but actually, regarding this, you and other Italian science communicator, I don't know. I actually have to say correctly, but you organized something very, very cool in a very quick way. Actually, it was a huge response, and I don't know actually if there was something similar in the other countries. I really don't know, but it's very interesting because you organized this science web festival.
Yes. You can check it on Facebook and Instagram, Science Web Festival. Obviously, it's all in Italian. I'm sorry for the language, but it was an amazing organization because in Italy we have a lot of scientific explainers, journalists, and people who talk about science for work, for hobby. That want to do something. We have a very, very great Facebook group for young explainers, and we decided to invest these people use that people for create a science web festival. A festival who takes 15 days, as I remember. During these 15 days, we have a lot of videos, Q&A, or other on Instagram and Facebook, where people can talk about science, or can ask something about topics, and we create a program from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
a lot of time.
It was very, very difficult. I collaborate with them just for a little bit, and it was crazy. I don't know for the board of the organization. Madness.
Yeah. But it was a very, very nice initiative. And actually, I'm asking you guys if there was something similar before or at the beginning of the quarantine, or actually that is going on in your country. There is something that how the scientific community of communicators is reacting to this, because most of them actually they have to work with people. So if they cannot meet people, that would be very difficult to them to spread the word of science. So Elodie, how was I was in France actually.
So it was quite good. So I'm doing some trainings, for example, normally to PhD students, and they reacted so quickly that, for example, today I was 4 hours on Zoom doing some training. Basically, yeah, it was quite good. And for the science communication, basically science to the public, they reacted super quickly. They started doing live live stuff that was really cool. And actually, a bunch of them created some Science Live websites where every week there is a planning of like all the science lives that are happening during the week. So it's like, actually, it was quite amazing to see how quickly everything went to online events instead of just like real life. And maybe some of the stuff are going to stay. And, it's nice to see as well conferences and read some articles. One guy actually is is a physicist. He does a lot of conferences, science communication. And it's called Julien Bobroff, if you want to check him out, if you speak French. And basically explained that it was really out of his comfort zone, to try to do science communication that way. But then it was quite cool because instead of trying to have a very well-polished speech, and everything, then he basically just did science experiments in his home with whatever he could find. And it was really cool because it connected really well. And it was really almost more like on the human side, because you just you're like, okay, we're all home. It's all shit for everyone. Let's just have a good time. And you spend less time on how it looks and more time on, sharing stuff. So it's quite good.
Yeah, actually, in a certain way, takes out the intimacy of the situation, because you are in front of a camera, and maybe sometimes a camera can help you to open easily, to your intimacy, and also your home actually is your home. So you are just in a pajama, you can teach physics in pajama, and it's very nice. So actually, everything might be also easier to understand.
Exactly. It is quite cool. Sometimes it's a bit more difficult, to like reach in online versus real life. Yeah, interesting. What is the financial impact on the Tinder app?
Yeah, that actually is a very important question for a lot of people.
I think honestly, probably Tinder. I'm not sure it's going that bad because probably people want to chat.
Yeah, actually, I have to say that sometimes you can use this as a catchphrase, that we cannot meet each other, so let's just chat. Let's just chat. So it's just
no pressure. No pressure. Sorry, I went on the Tinder, but that's it for me.
And how was the situation actually in UK and Netherlands, guys?
With some science communication and things. So we have this initiative called I'm a Scientist, Get Me Out of Here, if you've ever heard of that. It's an initiative where scientists get put into sort of a bit like a chat room, and schools come into there and then ask questions about certain topics, and then the school kids vote for their favourite scientists at the end.
Okay.
And then you get the coveted mug of you are the best scientist in that room. So because obviously our schools are shut down at the moment, we're still doing that, but in a slightly different way, where we're having it so parents can log in and students can log into certain rooms. So we're still getting the sort of questions being asked and how we can actually still chat to students about any science questions and anything they're interested in. So still trying to do it that way, just having to sort of bypass more of the school side of it.
Okay, that's cool. I think we have there is something like this also in Belgium, but I have to say that since my French is really bad and my Netherlands is basically none, I don't know very well that side of Belgium. I have to say it's a pity, but I have actually not very much information regarding that. And Ty, actually, you have some news from Netherlands regarding this? Do you speak Netherlands actually?
Ja, so I guess, ja, een beetje. Mijn vriendin is Nederlands. Ja, maar het is niet zo goed. Maar yeah, so for the Netherlands, I would say there's two aspects. One is, of course, there's people who are quite active in science communication, who are just getting the facts out. Even from the beginning, just making sure that people are aware of the social distancing. There's an organization across the Netherlands called Psycom.nl, and they're very active on promoting, along with the Science Museum in Amsterdam. So that's people who are trying to communicate science to the general public. We should be able to provide clear facts on why people should be taking this seriously. And on the more of a social aspect of things, so for Pint of Science, we work with Studium Generals. So each university has sort of a bridge between what the university does and what the general public will enjoy in the cities. So they've recently, so some of the universities and cities have started hosting these ask a professor a question. So one of the universities I'm at, law professor focusing on what are the human rights aspects of COVID-19, and okay, what does it mean when we have these apps that are tracking all this data on us? Is it infringing on our rights, or is it infringing on our right to privacy? So there are growths, which is nice, but as my Dutch isn't as proficient, it ends up becoming Google Translate, and then hopefully I've got it right.
Yeah, Google Translate is always the solution for a lot of things, actually.
I'm curious, is DeepL quite popular in Belgium? Because I think the translation is closer than Google Translate there.
Yeah. So actually, we have a question from Louise. Are there people who still deny that the virus is causing deaths in your country? Tough question. Elodie?
I don't want to reply to the question. I just want to say hi to Luis, that is the Brazil director.
Oh, hi, Louise. Hi, Louise.
Hi, Luis. And it has like almost 200 cities on the map. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
That was
Quite
just
impressive.
amazing. When I saw it was on the live, I was like, yeah, and you just have to say something for that.
Louise, let us know if you want to join this Couch of Science next time, because we are thinking to do something even bigger, not just with European country, but also with the rest of the world. So you will be more than welcome to join us. But regarding this question,
in France we have people, but
it's always people.
it's always the same. Like you always have, everyone's getting a bit emotional in those times, so it goes nuts. And in France we have this very crazy route situation with this professor that invented a treatment, and you have some people very much against, very much for, so it's just completely craziness here. So I would say we have some.
Yeah. Actually, what we tried to do the previous episode of Couch of Science, we also try to understand to try to explain to people how to recognize a fake news, because usually fake news are everywhere, but in this time I think that we are submerged by fake news. And in Italy, for example, the biggest one lately is the 5G, so that the virus is spread through the 5G.
Yes, but also in UK, I saw some videos about 5G burning. 5G.
They're burning the towers.
So they are really attacking the towers of the 5G.
They're literally burning the towers in some places,
Oh my
just
God.
because they think that's causing COVID.
Oh my God.
My favorite one actually is that Schweppes, the tonic soda is curing COVID-19.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm going to drink gin and tonic now from now on, because
yeah. But actually, it's interesting that the WHO, the organization, the World Health Organization, is still underlying every day that alcohol doesn't kill COVID-19. But they continue to say that like every day, because apparently people is still thinking that they can kill the virus through alcohol, which you should drink alcohol responsibly, but not for kill your COVID-19. I mean,
maybe
no.
It's just an excuse,
Yeah, it's just an excuse. And so, guys, I think that I have a question for Elodie, actually. Can you explain this picture? Because
I can totally explain. So for those who don't know, the logo of Pint of Science, the little pint with the brain, here is called Barney.
Oh my God, I never saw that.
This is Barney without glasses, actually. Sorry. This is Barney. So basically, this little logo is called Barney. And this morning, since I have the Pint of Science Belgium t-shirt, I put Barney with the t-shirt and I published that because I thought, it could be cool to show how excited Barney was, because he told me this morning how excited he was to be there. Yeah, a stuffed animal talked to me. After 4 weeks of quarantine, anything talks to you. Plants, animals,
That's true. I have to say that I have here actually these small walrus that actually sometimes speak to me. Yes, I have to agree that actually
I have a
I have something that is always speaking to me. Apparently, everybody has something that's quite normal. Apparently.
Exactly. So this is just Barney with the Pint of Science Belgium t-shirt because he was very excited for the event tonight.
And actually, there is Cedric saying something very interesting. Have you heard about the Corona beer? Probably believe it can give you a COVID-19. So this actually was a news that I was reading, and apparently the people stopped to buy Corona beer because they thought that was related to the COVID-19. So there was this huge decrease of the selling, and oh my god.
I read about a Corona beer that they are thinking about rebranding because it's a mess for them. So I can believe it that somebody can think about COVID-19 is correlated to Corona beer, but
Well, yeah, it's something crazy, but
yeah.
But maybe
sorry to cut off. I was going to say I was also reading that some people stopped ordering a Chinese takeaway. Other Chinese thing because they're afraid they're going to COVID-19. So
that's
but
crazy.
In Italy also.
A bit sometimes.
Sorry. In Italy, also from Japanese takeaway, there was a very big problem because at the start of lockdown, a lot of people believed that coronavirus comes from China and Japan both, but nobody said it. Never.
Oh my god.
In the UK, we had a problem when pasta was running out because at the time Italy was having a big problem with COVID. The only pasta that was left on the shelves was the stuff that's like specifically said made in Italy.
Oh my god.
So no one was buying made in Italy pasta.
Okay.
That's the worst. No, actually, yes. My colleague in the background, they say something very interesting. So, share your weirdest story about the quarantine. Which is your weirdest story about the quarantine? Do you have weird stories? Because you can see online a lot of crazy stuff, which I don't know how much of that is true. But maybe you have something that you want to share with us. Something legal, possibly?
I don't know. I don't have a crazy stuff. It's just I have a cool stuff. Is that in my street, we have a Facebook group, actually. Yeah. And people, every night, they decide to put like, so we're clapping for NHS, medical staff and everyone that is basically involved. So everyone that is running like supermarkets and stuff and deliveries. So we're clapping at 8. And then after that, we always have a song. But it's quite funny because we're debating on the group on like which song for which night. And then when it's someone's birthday, they post it on the Facebook group and they're like, it's my dad's birthday. Can you just say happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. Please tonight. Cool. And it's quite cool because everyone is at the, at the window and like clapping and singing happy birthday. And it's quite fun. And at the start, I didn't get it because I wasn't in the group and I heard happy birthday. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Those people are crazy. And then I joined the group and I was like, oh, okay. That's
about birthday, actually. I think you have a kind of weird story to share with us. And I have also the proof about that because you share with us this video. Which is, it's probably, you say that is about your cat.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't, yeah.
Which is turning 15, which is impressive for a cat, I have to say. So
yep,
this actually is something quite, quarantine style, that actually you start to create videos for your cat that is turning 15 and you want to celebrate because, you want to celebrate because in quarantine, every occasion is an occasion to celebrate,
So 2 things. Normally, I always celebrate my cat's birthday because, it's my cat. She's always with me. And I make a lot of videos for Pint of Science all the time, like stupid memes, stupid gifs, like, you know, all the time. And this time I was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna make a stupid gif for Plum's birthday. So this is it. Just, you know, quarantine, you have a lot of time. I was like, I spent an evening on it actually.
Makes sense. Makes sense, actually. Makes sense. No, I have to say that for now, the quarantine for me, it's okay because I have a roommate and we bought a table tennis web, you know, that actually plays on the table, and we play ping pong table tennis all day. So actually, this is a way to stay in the reality. But now actually there is a fight between us. I mean, it's like a huge competition. It seems that we are fighting for the, I don't know, for the world, to winning the world championship. But you know, you have to find a way to survive this quarantine sooner or later, you know. And about that, actually, I don't know if you have something to suggest to our audience in terms of books, videos, I don't know, courses, games, whatever that actually you think that might be help to survive this quarantine. It's even better if it's science related, for example.
Oh, yeah. So I guess the first one wouldn't be really science related and sort of falls with the weirdest story. So there's now a lot of the things that used to be in classes are now online. So for me, I think the weird thing is sometimes just going downstairs and then seeing my partner just, you know, being in a improv dance class or doing theater, and then it's just sort of Zoom in the corner, and then they're all just acting each other out, and I'm like, I'm not sure if this is okay. I'm just gonna go back to my room now. So yeah, I think what to do is that it's really fascinating to see how these types of events, organizations, either it's yoga online, have now exploded into you can do it in your living room as long as you have the space. So I think if you can find something that's local, or just I know there's the YouTube channels. I think it's Adrian for 30 days. I think that's the one that she does every morning. Just find something that you can help stick to your routine. That's been quite helpful.
Yeah, that's for sure. Also because a lot of people that they are working in this kind of stuff, not just personal trainers, but also actors, directors, musicians, they are trying to reinvent themselves in this way, to find actually a way to go on, because they have no incoming in this moment. So this is also another huge problem. So they need to find a way to do that. So probably your favorite band or the band of your cousin probably is doing something on the web to try to going on and to fight this situation where actually they are the person that are struggling. Okay, maybe not the most, but a lot, because at least, for example, in Italy, they are talking about to reopen theaters, cinemas, live concerts, like in the end of the year, like in September, but even November, for something. So it will be quite a huge impact on culture, on arts, on stuff like that. So maybe something that we can do is just try to share these and try to gather as much as possible this information. Yeah, as you say, there is a lot of courses that you can do, classes, whatever, and also live concerts, for example. So a lot of stuff. But I would like actually to insist. So what I said in the previous episode, because since I was talking about that, I started to watch it again, and I love it. So in Netflix, there is this TV show from Netflix with this Bill Nye Saves the World. It's a very nice TV show with Bill Nye that actually is a science that the science guy actually is his name is the science guy. And there's an American guy that actually do this TV show, which is very cool, and talking about science in a very nice way with the crazy guests, famous people. So something that actually I suggest to everybody to have a look of. And I don't know, do you have any other suggestion for our audience, and actually for ourselves as well?
For things like Netflix, if anyone's seen Tiger King, I would definitely
Tiger
recommend
King,
that.
yes.
Because that seems to be blowing up everywhere.
Yes.
Would recommend if you want something to make the world seem a bit more crazy than it already is. Aside from
Do you
that,
have a vendetta against Carol Baskins? Or
I feel like no one likes Carol Baskin right now. Yeah, but apart from that, I've been doing quite a lot, like trying to do like fitness workouts, because I used to swim quite a lot before the lockdown happened, and obviously I can't do that anymore. So just things like fitness videos and stuff like that. That's what I seem to be spending most of my time doing at the moment.
Well, yes. Actually, this stay active. It's probably one of the best thing that you can do, and it's not very easy in your place, of course, but still, in some ways, actually, it's easier. So, in what actually say Ignacio? I don't know actually. I'm actually teaching long distance music, but my new program involves the new Alpine physical training to improve endurance in everyday practice. What? Okay. You are a brave man. Yes. But I don't know actually if this is the kind of physical training that also include showering for like 1 minute under cold ice water. Because I saw a lot of this stuff that now is going on around, and guys, please don't. I mean, why you want to do that? Why?
It is actually a Icelandic challenge. So I went to Iceland and I was in the hot tub, and there's like a very, very cold tub next to it. And I met an old Icelandic guy, and he told me that the challenge is to go so it's 4-degree, in the 4-degree water, and to stay for 60 seconds. And if you manage that, then you're good. And I did it, and it was cold. It was cool. Like the feeling after that is amazing. No, I have one advice. It's not like a thing to watch or anything. It's just that as a brain scientist, like I feel our brains are a bit overwhelmed by everything that happens at the moment. And I think it's just sometimes we feel like we need to do everything, like we have more time, so we're going to take courses, we're going to be better and everything. And I think it's just okay if you're like, if you're just trying to be okay during that time. Because it can be really hard sometimes. Sleep can be difficult. It just can be a bit difficult. So some people have super energy, can take like new workouts and new routines and new everything. It's just like, it's okay if you actually take a bit more time for yourself, and you don't jump into new activities.
Absolutely true, actually, because it's not that bad to not doing anything. Sometimes you just chill. That's fine. That's fine. So we are actually struggling to stay at home, but sometimes we can just enjoy to stay home, because sometimes we can do it. At least it's fine. I mean, what I actually am enjoying the most, the fact that when I can work from home, I don't need to drive a half an hour to go to work, which is fantastic, because you just wake up, breakfast time, then you just read something, probably on your toilet, and then you start to work. But actually, you start to work from your room, so it's fine. It's relaxing, and at least I'm more productive most of the time. I'm more productive. So there is Celine. Actually, hi Celine. How are you? She's one of the coordinator of Belgium. So Pint of Science Belgium. And she said that in French, Jamie from Fred and Jamie, c'est pas sorcier.
C'est pas sorcier, yeah.
Iconic Show is sharing science fact every day on Twitter. Yeah,
wow.
That's actually a very good.
That's cool.
Good point. We have also in Italy a lot of people that are doing this. Right now, my favorite is Bressanini, but actually, it's probably one of the most famous one. And
but
even though lately
out
he's quite
because,
pissed off.
Bressanini is out because right now in Italy we have a lot of programs on Twitch. The board for gaming, but a lot of explainers work there for talk about sciences, and there are 2 or 3 channels that they do a program every evening. So it's a lot of hours of streaming if you want.
That's good. That's good to know. Of course, in Italian. Of course.
Of course, in Italian. I'm sorry.
But I'm sure that you can find tons of other stuff in English, in French, and also Netherlands. So maybe Thai can practice is Netherlands.
Or maybe it's time to approach Twitch for other countries.
Yeah. Actually, also that would be a nice idea. So, guys, I think that we're running out of time, and so I will just go if there is any interesting comment that we would like to share. I don't know. Maybe let's see if Michael can find something. In the meantime, actually, guys, I want to share with you some other thoughts. So thank you for being here. That was very, very interesting. Thank you so much. I hope that you had fun. And I will suggest you to stay in touch with us from Pint of, not just from Pint of Science Belgium, but all the Pint of Science of your country, of course, because a lot of activities are coming. Even though if there is the quarantine, a lot of online events is going to come. And yes, Elodie, go.
Can I
You are
just
the
say
best
something?
person for this.
Yeah, like if you want to follow any country, basically it's at Pint of Science, and then it's the 2 letters country code. So BE for Belgium, FF for France, and L for Netherlands, UK for UK, and IT for Italy, and all the rest is the same. So this is how it works for everyone. And you have also the Pints World accounts on Twitter and Instagram for like international accounts. So we share everything that is happening all over the Pints World.
Yes. Thank you so much, because actually this was actually this a crazy good idea. I was looking for the other accounts from other countries, and it was so easy to find everything. It was super easy. That's crazy. And so I hope that actually you are going to enjoy this quarantine and the rest of the quarantine, or actually that is going to finish as soon as possible. And guys, what else? Next week we are going to come back. So the 23rd of April we'll be back, and we will have actually a very nice guest, which is Antoine de Winter. I don't know actually if the correct pronunciation, but he's a doctor. He's a general doctor, but he works in the emergency in Belgium, and probably we are going to ask him a lot of questions regarding this. Because we would like to know better with the situation. How all the other guys here today were saying, Pint of Science is also trying to spread the word about how to react to this situation at the best way. And one idea was just to ask to experts or people that actually are experienced this in a more concrete way. And our first idea was to check for a doctor that actually is in emergency, but more is coming. And I think that I hope that all the rest of the countries are doing something nice to share, and I have idea that this is the case. So just put a follow on our Facebook page, on our Instagram, on Pint of Science Italy, Pint of Science UK, Pint of Science International, Pint of Science Netherlands, all the Pint of Science that you like, because it is always something to share with Pint of Science. And what else, guys? You want to say something before we leave? Elodie, you are the international coordinator, so
I think I said everything.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. It was really, really nice. And I think that we are coming back soon next week. Follow us to have more information. And if other people from Pint of Science around the world want to join us, or if you have questions for us or something that you want to share with us, or tips regarding guests that we can actually have, just send an email to couchofscience, pintofscience.b, and of course we are going to reply to you, and we can create something cool. Thank you so much, guys. It was very nice. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.